I'm Rachel Greiner. I'm a sophomore, class of 2018. Really just Incite Newsroom right now. Oh, and the Blues Dancing Club, Bluesians. And I was in Greek life for a year and dropped that this semester. I think the longer answer is I grew up in a really conservative space and I came out right before going to college, and it really shifted my politics and understanding of the community I grew up in, and wanting other people to not experience the same things I had was really a big motivator to be involved in Incite and in student union. Not this year, but last year at the very end of the school year, I think it was Lath and some other people came up with a list of, or
Charter?
Yeah, charter, thank you. And of ideas, and we had a couple workshops. And then over summer, people talked a little and then started meeting at the beginning of the school year. Otherwise, I did a lot of social media stuff. So a lot of Incite Newsrooms, Facebook, and Instagram, a lot of those were pictures that I took, and Latham and Nikki, a couple other people. But that was primarily what I was focused on. Originally, Incite was supposed to be a part of Newsroom, and we decided that really the only thing that we were doing differently and well, and that other people weren't already doing at campus, was media. But what it does exactly is really hard to say. I know that we're still trying to figure out how to use, especially Facebook, creating events and getting information out. It's hard to say exactly what it does. It does spread information, but people aren't going to come unless they're invested already. So there's that dynamic. I know that for me, it gives me an excuse to go and interview people, and build those connections that way, which is really fun for me. And something that's been really cool as well is to see what other schools are doing, because there are other schools who have very similar Facebook pages to what we have, and to get to see that and what other people are doing and how they're spreading information is really cool. One of the reasons I think P.S.S.U switched to Incite was because at some point we realized that we didn't have we had these ideas, but we didn't really have a specific goal, and so it sort of fizzled out because there was less momentum, because we didn't have we are doing this thing. And I think it was good for us to try that, and I definitely recommend students who have no idea. When they pulled me aside and was you want to be involved, and I was I have no experience, but that's what college is for. So that's my first caveat, is try even though you don't have any idea. The other part is we did learn that it's really helpful to have this is your specific goal, because there were a lot of things we wanted to do and it was hard to do. We sort of narrowed down on what are we good at, what can we do well, and let's focus on that and get really good at that. So that's sort of my advice. From my understanding is it basically exists to critique, because the idea was to talk back, and to create a space that talks back, and both for people who are involved in activism work, to be to be affirming of yeah, we see this too, and just try to build more of a community. But the other aspect of it was to get other people on board who might not otherwise see this perspective, to be oh wait, when they say that, it actually means this, and it's harmful because. So there's two aspects to that, and also holding holding university accountable for things. We've had one person collaborate with us, because he's dealing with some racism in the orientation program, and so he wrote an article for us, and we just edited it, and we're going to publish that. That's really the first time we've collaborated with somebody. We've done a lot of interviewing other groups and writing articles about them, P.S.S.U and ACE. We just got a freshman, so that's really exciting to be hopefully it's something, we're trying to build something that will last beyond when we graduate. It's so new. It's the second this Sunday we'll print our second edition. So it's like very, we're still sort of like thinking about, is it more so, like, how is the social media going to speak to this like print publication and like what that looks like, but hopefully it continues to be a space where people can like talk back and just like promote like a strong community in like any way possible. Those are very vague goals, but I'm still trying to figure out, I think everybody's trying to figure out exactly what that's going to look like, but those are like long-term goals for sure.